Hey guys, what's up? I'm Jules. Good to see you again. Glad that you were here with me. We've got a lot to talk about today. I want to focus on the cross stitch stuff first, and then we'll go into like all the other stuff, things like our trip to Florida, coming back, just work's being crazy, future plans, blah blah blah, all this other stuff. So hope you guys are doing well. I'm gonna be distracted because I'm trying to get better lighting, period, in the video. I want to also, the next step is better sound. You can see this big ring. If I move it right in front of my big head, you won't be able to see the big reflection. But I got my windows open, not my windows. I got my blinds and my curtains open over here. So when car goes by, I'm just gonna do that. I just can't help it. And I probably am a little bit visible to anybody who might be walking by. I hope not. I'm shy. Did you know that? I'm shy. Anyway, so I hope you guys have been doing well, getting a lot of stitching done. You guys have been leaving me a lot of great comments, answering a lot of questions that I have, and kind of getting me more focused towards what I need to be doing and how to maximize my time, both as a stitcher and as running my own design business. If you did not know, if you look behind me, these are my cross stitch patterns. And honestly, like on camera, I mean, in person they look great, but on camera they look amazing. So anyway, so everything is going well in that department. It's just like I need a lot more coffee. I'm starting to drink coffee. I need a lot more coffee, and I need more inspiration, which I have inspiration. I just need to get down and do focus on patterns. Mini patterns are definitely what my focus is going to be on in the near future. I just think that I've got a lot of patterns that I love, and I've kind of discovered sort of how to get myself, well, how to take a pattern that maybe is black and white and turn it into something with maybe like 12 colors that's a lot smaller. I don't have my raising, of course I don't have my raising the flag pattern. I wanted to show you guys, first of all, I'm going to show you this. Hold on. I've got all these different things printed out. But I got my raising the flag, which is one of my biggest sellers from the very beginning of the store, but it also is, it was a black and white, but now it's sort of grayscale, which I like an awful lot. It allows you to do a lot of things with the fabric and how you want to do it. It is 125 by 125, but there's a lot less stitching in this. I mean, there's probably like 3,000 or 4,000 stitches in it total, 12 colors total. But the reason why I'm like pointing this out is because as I'm sitting here, I don't use a lot of light in this upper place, this upper room, whatever you want to call it, with you know, wherever I store all my stuff. And I bought this really nice cardstock, not really nice, but I bought some good cardstock, and because it's going to be like the front and the back of my patterns. And the weird thing is that it's supposed to be bright white. It's not bright white. It's like a cream. It's an off-white. And in the dark it looked bright white, and it's labeled as bright white, but let me show you the difference here. Just regular white paper. I don't know how well you can be able to see this. White paper and then this. That's not bright white. Kind of ruins the whole motif because everything's been kind of bright white, but anyway, I'll have to reach out and see what happened with that. They're like, no, by bright white we mean off-white. Okay, I'll know not to buy your stuff again. But anyway, so let's see here. Let me start first by showing you guys what I've been stitching on, because believe it or not, I have actually been stitching. I took this project with me to Florida for vacation, and I really didn't get any stitching done while I was there. I was very distracted by football and other things, but I got a lot of stitching done on the plane home, and it really set me up well for this past week. Just getting a little bit done. Not every day, but every other day, kind of chipping away at it. And I haven't shown this one in a while. This one's called Mini Samurai. And it is on the store, and it has been on the store for a while. And of course, I said I was going to sit down, I was going to do this, and then I went and promptly lost the cover page for it. Amateur. Amateur! so that's the cover page for it. So Mini Samurai, it's 70 by 70. It's pretty small. And you're not stitching all this around here. So use whatever fabric you want to. I still use my basic white Aida just because honestly, I have so much of it around the house. And so, but it's 12 colors. This is, I'm about 40, well, how far along? 45% along with it right now. And this is what it looks like on my pattern keeper. I've gotten big chunks of it done, and honestly, the red orange, it's really red orange because what color is that? It's 606 is that color. But honestly, like I've got about 1,200 stitches of that color, and then pretty much hardly any other stitching to do because everything else is lighter, a lot less colors. But anyway, so it's coming along. It's coming along well. The reason why I went back to stitching it was because I had started. And I was like, it's a good project to take along on a plane because I could take along a couple of colors, the 310 black and the 606, and get a lot of stitching done without having to change a bunch of colors. I think that's important when you're stitching on a plane. But anyway, so I'm pretty happy with it. I'm almost done with this little bit of black. I was working on it last night, and then I'm gonna get back to doing all the 606 around it. So don't know if I'll get any stitching done earlier today, maybe tonight, we'll see. So that's really all the stitching that I've gotten done so far. I kind of put aside Old World Map for just a little bit, primarily because I'm just so scatterbrained. You guys know how scatterbrained I am, but so scatterbrained and trying to get to a focus, trying to focus on the designs, trying to focus on the business side of things, and had gone over to a stitching shop last week. My last video, real quick video, I didn't show my face, just show my products. Excuse me. But went over to a stitching shop here in Denver, which is like 25-30 minutes away max, and visited with them and took over a bunch of my patterns that they took in. They are gonna go up on the website, but they have them. I think they're ready to go. If you want to get the physical pattern, if you want to buy fabric at the same time, floss, kit it up basically with them, which I highly recommend because honestly, they have like the best fabric. I mean, I've bought Aida and things like that because I'm an Aida Lugana stitcher, and the Aida that I've ever bought all over the place. I mean, you name it, there's just different kinds of Aida, right? There's different kinds of that kind of fabric, and it goes from the really cheap to the really nice. And trust me, I feel like it's the better quality cross-stitch fabric that you can stitch on, the more enjoyable your stitch will be. So that's recommendation number one today. But they have the best fabric, so I highly recommend that. And I was going somewhere with that thought, but right out the door. By the way, sidebar, how do you guys like my hair? I got it cut like the night before we left. It looks weird because I've got my stuff up here, but I had to put that up because the hair was just kind of falling forward. I look more like my brother now that I have gotten my hair cut shorter. It's kind of funny. Or my mom even, which is funny because I've never really looked like my mom, but once I got my hair cut short, I catch myself every once in a while. I'm like, I look like my mom. Hi, Mom. And so anyway, but I like it a lot. I had to convince the stylist. I'm like, no, shorter. And she cut it really short on the back. And I'm not good at telling people like how I want my hair cut because honestly, like I've probably done it like less than 10 times in my entire life. Like just cut it. But I love it. So cut it fairly short. I think we're gonna let the back grow out a bit more. But just kind of keep it kind of this shorter wavy. I get this natural wave that I didn't know I had, and every day now I wake up and I get a laugh first thing in the morning. I look at myself in the mirror, my hair is like all over the place. And this morning I had a really good flock of seagulls thing going on, and I send it. A lot of times I'll send a picture to my mom, or take a picture, send it to my husband. It's just funny. It's funny. It's bedhead morning. Anyway, all right. I just talked a lot there. So yeah, so if you want to get my physical patterns right now, a bunch of them are going to be over at a stitching shop. They're going to be up on the website soon. But if there's anything that you're interested in, just give them a call, talk to Christine, tell them what you're looking for. Because if she doesn't have it, I can take it over there. It's not a big deal. An excuse to go to a stitching shop? I don't need one. I need to get over there a lot more often. So anyway, rambling. All right, let me show you a few more. I showed you guys these in the past video, but I really like these. Got the mini owl couple, the mini vintage microphone. Somebody, a couple people actually in the comments were wanting me to do a whole series of like mini instruments. So along this, guys, and this is colors. This is 13 colors, so a lot of grayscale in that. I'm super pleased with how that came out. I want to stitch. I want to stitch. I do. I just gotta not sleep, and I gotta not get distracted when I get home from work. But another one that I've been working on lately. Oh, anyway, but let's go back. So a mini instrument series, which is completely doable. I definitely would love to, get back into that and do that. Yet one more distraction. This is how my brain works. This is why it's so difficult for me to sometimes literally just get things done, because I'm so distracted all the time. I just distracted myself right out of that thought. It's gonna be a rough day. It's gonna be a rough day. Anyway, so okay. Anyway, let me just move on. Oh man, if I look sleepy, it's because I am. I'll talk about that later. But so then I've got the morning in Japan, the mini morning in Japan, which I love this. This is full coverage. And it's 15 colors, a little bit more, lots of shades of yellow and whatnot in that one. I love this one. I think that one came out so nice. Kind of like the Big Ben, the mini Big Ben, that I just like the yellows. It's just, I don't know, it just looks so good. What else we got? I've been able to shrink some of the monochromes down. Please excuse the fact that this is off center. I don't know what happened here, but anyway, this one's 148 by 78. We've had this one out before, but this is one of the mini monochromes. So if you're interested in doing a monochrome and be like, I don't want to do one of your massive projects, try that one. That one worked out pretty well. And I also have a mini bee on there as well. And then I show the mini seahorse. And so, and that one's not, this one is actually like all what you see in here, like the framework of the seahorse, that's what's stitched. The stuff between the framework, that's not stitched. So go crazy with the fabric selection. Have a good time with that. All right, I think that'll be all the patterns that I show for now, honestly, because otherwise this video is going to be ridiculously long. I wrote a bunch of notes down for myself for the video. Can you see like how scattered they are? And I had another piece of paper on top of it I thought were my notes, but these are all my notes for the game today, things I want to keep track of and watch during the different games. Whew. Anyway, all right, let's talk about some things here. So the mini music stuff is something I really would like to do more of. So I'm definitely going to be looking at that. I do like the minis. There's just something kind of cool about doing something that comes out to like 80 by 80 or 70 by 100. And as I'm stitching, I'm enjoying them more. Does it make me stop doing the bigger projects? No. It just makes me go, okay, I've got a lot of big projects right now. And I still have one more that I need to send out. Sharon's been looking for that one. Oh, now I just remembered. Hold on. Hold this thought. Sharon, somebody who's been around for a long time, fellow blues fan, go blues. I have a pattern that I've shown my patrons that I haven't posted yet. It's a monochrome pattern. And it's basically like a person. I would say it almost looks like an older person. You can tell like the hands are a little weathered and maybe a little wrinkled, and they're working on dough. And it's a really cool monochrome that I just got to get up on the store, and so it looks good. Anyway, I'm gonna get this wrong. I apologize. When I was at a stitching shop the other day, I went in. I was kind of in a rush because literally I was trying to get all my patterns done that morning. Okay, now I remember two things that I got to talk about. I was in a rush, and I was trying to get all the patterns done because, of course, I put myself on a deadline. Like, I have to get all this stuff delivered to a stitching shop this morning by blah, 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 whatever time, because we were leaving at, whatever, 2:30, I think we were leaving for the airport. And so I put myself on this crazy deadline to get all these patterns ready and sent over. And I did, and I was over there, and boy, they were busy when I was there. They were so busy. It was pretty cool. But Kesey, I'm gonna get this wrong. Kesey met somebody, met a watcher, met a subscriber, a long time watcher, Kesey, who was there, and it was funny because I was over kind of waiting for Christine to sort of be available to talk to me, and Kesey was like, "I know who you are," and probably in pretty distinctive voice, I suppose. But anyway, so she was super nice. It was really awesome to see her and meet her and talk to her. And so it's just kind of cool, you know. Um, if you ever see me at a stitching shop or whatever, just stop and say hey, because it's just neat. It's neat, and my whoops, my father-in-law gets a big kick out of it whenever I tell him that I ran into somebody who knew me. So, what's up, pops? Hope you're doing well. And of course, my mom as well, my second mom. And so, hope everybody's doing good. Hot as it is down in Florida. Anyway, and then the second thing that was funny that happened. So, it's funny how things kind of work out sometimes, or how my brain, like there's a thought way back in my brain that you've done something wrong, and I don't realize it, but I'll come back around to something else, and when I come back around to something else, then I'm like, oh, I did that wrong. Excuse me for a second. A little bit of moisture there. But we were at the airport, at Denver International Airport. No, we weren't. I was on my way to the airport, and I was looking at something, and I pulled up Raising the Flag because I was just like, I want to see if I can stitch on Raising the Flag on vacation. Never got to it, but when I looked at the pattern, somehow I looked at the pattern, and the back page was completely wrong. It was like I used a different back page than I should have, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I took that over to a stitching shop completely wrong. And I'm like, no problem. It's only been like 2 hours, 3 hours since I've been there. I'll just email Christine, let her know I'll get this done when I get back. So I emailed her, and she got right back to me, and she says, well, could you get it done now? Because somebody actually already called in and bought the pattern with kit and floss and all that. And I was like, okay, that's the power of the video. Whoever you are, thank you, you're awesome. So anyway, thankfully I had my little tablet that I use for different things with me, and my phone. And so we sat down at this little pub once we were all checked in, sat down at this pub, and I was actually able to access the stuff that I used to create the front and the back of my patterns. And I was able to actually sit there and correct it, and then send it along to Christine so she could print it out and correct everything. And I was very pleased about that. But yeah, I just rushed. I just rushed too much. I just didn't take my time. Anyway, let's go back to what we were talking about. Maybe I may have to use my glasses here because my glasses that are very dirty. I don't know. I shouldn't be cleaning them like this, but it's just how I do it. It's how I do it. All right, let's look. So I had different questions and stuff from this past week. Let's see. Let's talk about music miniseries. Oh, mini elephant. Somebody reached out and asked about a mini elephant. Surprise! I'm actually working. I almost have the mini elephant done. I think it'll be done. Should be done and up on the site here really soon. But I took the black and white elephant that I've had, the really big one. I was able to put a little bit of color into it, grayscale it, and then shrink it way down. So it's like a mini elephant, which I know kind of doesn't make it like an oxymoron, but is it an oxymoron? I don't know if it's an oxymoron. Anyway, I can't read my own stuff here. Total stitch count. Somebody asked about putting the total stitch count on my patterns, and that is something I do for my monochromes because I feel like that's very easy to understand because you're just using the one color, and it gives you an idea of how much stitching there is. But when it comes to using like multiple colors, like I can look on Pattern Keeper and see that really easily, like how many stitches it is. But I don't know. I think it might be a little confusing for people to look at maybe a I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it helpful? Is it not helpful? Where would I even put it? Would I put it on the key? Would I put it on the back page? Would I put it on, where would I even put it? Is it necessary? I always want to put stuff on my patterns that you guys think are stuff that is helpful. So anyway, just let me know, because I just don't know. I just really don't know. Somebody also asked about me putting my website on like my page or my back page or whatever. And I used to do that, but I got pushback from stores about literally advertising my own store on my patterns while I'm trying to sell in a store. So I don't want to step on toes. And, because to me, I don't feel like in many cases, I don't think that the audience that goes to local needlework shops are not usually the audience that then turns around and buys online, like in terms of patterns and things like that. But it's hard to say, because this, again, another sidebar, when you walk into like different stitching shops, some of them have like a lot of patterns displayed, some don't have as many. You almost have to kind of go looking for stuff sometimes. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm starting to get a little hungry, so my brain's really starting to boop, 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 boop. What else is going on? Focus. So anyway, yeah, note to the website on the pattern, because that would be a little, that would probably be a deal killer for some people. And some people already don't like that I have an online store where I sell digital patterns, because they think it's direct competition. I don't think so. You should ask a stitching shop if it is. I mean, I've recommended them so much that they, I think we have a really good relationship there. So, and I wouldn't do anything that would compromise that. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. All right, what else is going on here? So, okay, so has anybody done one of my monochromes in variegated floss? I've never thought about it. Well, not thought about it. I've never done it. I don't know how it would turn out. If you've done that, could you email me a picture? That would be fantastic, because I think that would be something that I would be able to really see what it's like. Christy reached out on in the comments and said she bought the Lady Dancing, the one of the newer patterns that I got, and it's a monochrome pattern. And she thought about doing it. She picked a like a, I think it was like a grayish, I can't describe the gray exactly, but it's not white fabric. She was thinking about not doing it just in, say, DMC 310, but choosing something else. Thought, well, what if I did it in variegated floss, really have the colors kind of mix and whatnot. The problem is that I don't know how much variegated floss it would take to complete like any pattern. I don't use that. Okay, hi mom, just left me a comment here, or texted me. Anyway, I've not done that. Has anybody else done that? And I think if you did that, you'd want to stick with something that, again, was a mix of darker colors. I just don't want you guys to stitch something and go, wow, that didn't really pop at all, because you sort of didn't do the recommended floss to fabric combo. And really all we're talking about is dark floss, lighter fabric. You could flip them potentially, although I don't know if I've seen a picture of that yet. That to me kind of puts my brain in twists. I can't even think about it. So anyway, if you guys done that, let me know. Or even if it wasn't one of my patterns, just email me a picture. I just want to see what it looks like. But me with variegated floss, the one or two times that I tried it in the past with another project that I was stitching on, I cannot remember what it was off the top of my head. I wasn't terribly pleased, because I think it was hand dyed, and the difference in colors in the same type, the same number of floss, like the same, like say DMC 310 or whatever, and whatever variegated floss you're using, like theoretically it should be the same kind of variegated floss no matter how many skeins you get. But my issue was they just were different. And maybe that's what you want, but part of my brain just says no. So I don't know. So anyway, all right. Let me know. Let me know, guys. There's so much I don't know when it comes to cross stitching. There's so much I don't know. But if you guys have been paying attention to the YouTubes, I have been throwing out a bunch of questions over the last couple of weeks because I am trying to get an idea of what my audience thinks as far as what they think about things, what fabric they like, where do they get their patterns, different things like that. And I know my audience is smaller, certainly smaller than it used to be, but a lot of you guys are voting and giving me your opinions, and it is quite helpful. So let's start with the first question, or one of the questions that I threw out. What is your favorite fabric size of cross stitch fabric? What do you prefer? And we're not talking brands of this and that, whatnot. We're just talking specific fabric count. And this one is a pretty funny one. Not necessarily unexpected, but 51% of the people who answered, and I think it was like 100 votes on this one. So 51% picked 18 count, which I think is kind of the standard cross stitch fabric size. That's not surprising. But what is surprising is that the next most popular fabric size was 25 count, and it came in with 25% of the vote. And then the next fabric size that was popular was 14 count, and it came in with 14% of the vote. Is that supposed to happen? I don't know. Anyway, and then the final 10% said 36 count or above. They like the really fancy stuff. So, and some people just use everything, which I'm specifically like I like 18 count, 25 count. 25 count is really where I've kind of migrated to. These minis I've been doing on 18 count, but my monochromes I prefer 25 count. And so, so there's that one. What else we got? So I asked. I got a lot of pauses in this video because I'm just like going off on a tangent in my own brain. So I asked how many, where do you guys get your patterns from? And I gave choices. So like 75-ish votes or so. 60% of people will get them off online. So I said website, which designer website, or just websites in general. I think you could almost call that like Heaven and Earth Designs, Cross Stitch Collectibles, all the different places we can go get, and what's that called? Okay, I forgot. Okay, I can't even think. 27% prefer to get them off of Etsy. But the problem I have with Etsy, now that I'm a designer and I'm selling patterns and stuff, is that some people get confused with where to download their patterns. And I've also had people who just flat out were unable to download their patterns from Etsy for whatever reason. When that happens, when somebody buys off of Etsy, I just get their email address and just email their pattern directly to them. If I had a choice of where I want you guys to go, I would prefer you go to the website. But if you find me on Etsy and you like buying on Etsy, because I totally understand that, it is a very comfortable platform and something that I've used many times myself. Feel free to use Etsy, but the website, the stitchingjewelsdesign.com, is the one that I almost would prefer. But so 8% buy from their local needle workshops. Rock on. And then 5% all the above. So they're just always buying patterns wherever they go, which I totally understand. Before I started designing, that's what I did. I just would buy patterns left and right everywhere. I have so many patterns here that I have not been working on, and I know I need to like pull them out and start working on all the ones that I got, but I kind of feel like I'm shooting myself in the foot if I work on somebody else's pattern while I'm trying to get my own design stuff going. So, oy. Let's see what else we got. I asked how, like, what size project do you like? Please don't look at me. 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 Okay, good. They're not looking at me. Um, so, um, how, what size pattern do you guys like? And I gave choices like, I like the really little stuff, so something like smaller than the mini samurai, which is 70 by 70 and not full coverage. Very few percent, very few people, like 3% of people pick that. Um, and then I had like, it doesn't matter how big it is. I had like a medium size, like 200 by 200, something like that. And then the pattern is really all that matters. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is. And with a whopping 78%, you guys chose the pattern is the thing. What the subject of the pattern is the thing. Doesn't matter how big or how small it is. And I understand that completely. It's all about subject matter. And if you are not in love with what you are stitching, like just looking at it, you're like, oh, I love this. I can't wait to see what this looks like. You're never going to finish it, most likely, unless it's a gift for somebody, in which case it's going to take 5 times as long as it should because you don't love to stitch it. So stitch what you love. So yeah, and then the next one I think was the go big or go home, which of course, I mean, if you guys have been around with me for a while, that's where I started the big projects and then kind of moved into this other stuff. But that wasn't a surprise to me at all. And then the final poll, I put it out last night, so I only have like 25 votes so far. And I kind of went against people who were like, I asked, when should I release a video? Because I have been all over the place in releasing videos. So I asked, should I go back to Thursdays? Should I release it on Sunday? Because I can release it during football. Sundays you have more time to watch. It's just, you need to get into a routine. I understand that completely because I have certain people that I watch for different videos and I'm like, I know they're going to put a video out today, so I'm waiting for it and I see it. If you guys ever want to like know when one of my videos comes out, first of all, you got to be subscribed. Please subscribe. I never ask you guys to subscribe, but if you watch more than a couple times and you actually have a YouTube account with like a Gmail address and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. That would be awesome. Second, there's that little notification bell that's down below, and theoretically, you will be notified every time I put a video out if you click on that bell and highlight it. Theoretically. I know it doesn't always happen, but it should. So there's that. Anyway, oh yeah, so when am I going to put out a video? And other people were like, just release it whenever you can, and nobody wanted it released. Well, like maybe one person wanted it released on a Monday, which I kind of like Mondays, but I'm like, I want it to be. I don't want it to get like swallowed up by everybody else because there's so many Flosstube videos out there. Yeah, I know you have a choice, and thank you for choosing my video. Appreciate that. So what was it? Right now, the vast majority of people, wait, where was it? 56% said Thursdays. Go back to Thursdays. It's traditional. 32% said Sundays, and then mix of the rest. And so, of course, then I followed the crowd and I said, no, let me do it on Sunday. No, I needed to do a video today because I'd been like 2 weeks since I've done a video and I have stuff to show you. I needed to get it out. But I will do a video on Thursday as well. I will. I need to do smaller form videos. I need to do videos about my patterns. There's all different things that I need to do. I have to write them down and I have to organize them externally out of here so that I can see what I need to do. So hopefully I can get some little stuff done for you guys, or even like make little shorts out of some of the videos that I've already made. That would be good. So there is that. And this video is 34 minutes long. It's a little insane because I ramble. So let me just run over some personal stuff real quick. We had a great time in Florida. We were very, very fortunate that the hurricane that was literally like landing on the day that we were flying out, we were fortunate in the sense that it went west, missed Jacksonville where we were flying in, and it went up and hit the bend part where Florida kind of comes up, and then it has the panhandle, and it hits right there where everything comes together. It's feel horrible for those folks. I mean, it's got to land somewhere, but that's brutal. But I hope people are doing better, and thankfully if anything, it's nice that it didn't hit. What's going on with my hair right here? It's nice that it didn't hit a a really big population center, because there would have been so much more damage and whatnot. So, well, we were very lucky. It was hot and muggy while we were there. Not a surprise. I mean, if you go to Florida, don't expect that. And anyway, we went to the beach a couple times, which is great. Hubs and I went, and oh yeah, that reminds me. Hubs and I went and did some seashell searching, and found some really cool ones. One of the things that I would like to do, I need to give him something to do, because he wants to help, but there's not a lot that I can really give him that he can do, because it's so me centric, which is not the best thing for business. But we were searching around for seashells, and I'm gonna pause because I'm gonna go grab some. Okay, I'm back. That actually took me quite a while because I got distracted. And so anyway, you can take seashells home. I know people are like, you gotta take seashells out of Florida. Sometimes I've heard some people say that. I looked it up. Now somebody's gonna say, you're wrong. I looked it up and blah, 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 blah. As long as there isn't a critter inside, which sometimes there can be, you can take the shells home. And so it's, so it's all good. So, so the Hubs, it's kind of been working on these. Now these are really big, I gotta tell you. And maybe this is still cool to do. Let me find. So he took a bunch of these shells that we got home, and he sort of cleaned them up. They're really smoothed out, and I don't know if we want to put like a little covering on it, like a little lacquer cover, just to provide a little bit more. What do you guys think? Have you ever seen seashell needle minders? Because that's what we're thinking about, seashell needle minders. But anyway, that's pretty big. Not as big as this one. This one's huge. Oh, that's got a chip in it. Oh, man. How about... There you go. It's a white one. So, anyway, so we were just kind of playing around with that. We just enjoyed just looking, because it was just so much fun. I actually came across the critter. And don't ask me why I didn't take a picture, because it was the coolest thing ever. But I was so distracted by how cool it was, I never took a picture. Like, what? I take pictures of everything. And it was about this long, and it was sort of a darker pink color. It had little fronds on the end. I'm pretty sure it was some sort of like miniature squid, baby squid kind of a thing. It was way far on the beach, like inland on the beach. It was probably like a good 100 yards minimum. Like, it was way far. Like, tide really brought it in. And so I didn't take a picture of it, but I'm pretty sure it was dead, because it was just, it was just there. I did throw it back in the ocean, so it wasn't sure, maybe it wasn't dead, but probably was. Anyway, man, I missed my chance on that. But anyway, so we picked up all these little things, little bits of conch shells and things like that. Would these make good little needle minders? What do you guys think? Would you like? We're just kind of, so Brands did t-shirts, right? I love my t-shirts. They're on my website, stitchandjewelsdesign.com. I have half a dozen or so on there right now. I love this one. It's super soft and it's comfortable. So we're just thinking about other different things. And sometimes they might be like little things I throw in to send to people, who knows? And I don't know. But anyway, so we also went around and was playing around with it and found some cute little other things that we could use for needle minders. I got the little duck. What's the duck holding? Is the duck holding a knife? I don't know why the duck's holding a knife. Now it worries me just a little bit. There we go. I like this one. This one makes me laugh. This is a positive sign. And then for me, I mean, literally, I need to do this for my cross stitch stuff. You guys, would you be interested in this one? I have no idea what I'm doing. I should just like put this on my head, probably. I have no idea what I'm doing. So anyway, the problem is that I was like trying to figure out what size magnets, because we were just playing around with it, and I was like, what size magnets should we get? And so we were just kind of looking at them, and like I didn't even think to literally just, hey, how about why don't you just like draw out the sizes and see what you think. But I got these bought these little magnets. I'm like, I need to get little magnets. So I got look how little the magnet is. It's so tiny. Wait, let me hold up the duck. Now, it might be fine for the duck. It's quite possible it could be. I will have to experiment with that. But and there's a whole row of them. But we're just experimenting. For you guys, it's something you guys think you might want. That's awesome. So got got the t-shirts. Have more ideas for t-shirts that I needed to do. But I think that's it. So Florida was great. We had some crab, we had some shrimp, of course. Everything went great. Flight back was fantastic, which is great because it's almost 4 hour flight back. When we got back, I really struggled the day we got back and the next day. Like my brain just was, I could not get I worked so hard and just first like got very little sleep before we went on vacation, and I was so focused. And then when we got back, I was completely like, what am I doing? Blah, blah, blah. You know, and kudos to my husband because the man is patient. He's so patient with me. He needed it last weekend, because I was all over the place. But anyway, so yeah, we got back, and then work has been crazy busy. It's the busy season. I work in an event rental place, and lots of stuff going out, lots of events happening in September, lots of people having stuff done. I actually worked overtime. I worked late on Friday, worked about 11 hours on Friday, and then came in on Saturday and worked, did I say Thursday? I think it was just Friday. I can't remember. Anyway, went in yesterday, worked about 7 hours, got a lot of stuff done. Probably working overtime most days, Monday through Friday, maybe some Saturdays going forward for the next 2-3 weeks, maybe. We may not be having to do that. It just depends on how efficient we are during the week. But my body is like, what are you doing to me? I'm so trying to get my strength back. Taking a couple of days, taking 3 or 4 days off, and then coming back and jumping right into it was, my body was screaming at me. So, but I'm getting better. I'm stretching. I'm a self massage. Take some ibuprofen, stretching myself out. It's been pretty good. But I'm just focusing on, I've got time management. Time management is the key. All right. This is an insanely long video. But if you guys like me rambling, this is like the video that you guys have been waiting for a long time, because none of my videos have been this long. But I just feel like talking to you guys. If you're still with me, that's awesome. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna upload this video and watch some football while I'm working on mini designs today. So if you're interested in stuff, check that out. Hi. And if you have any more suggestions for mini designs, put them down below. If you guys have a stitching shop is my local needlework store. But if you guys have a local needlework store, you're like, man, this place is the bomb. This is the awesomest place. You really need to sell your patterns here. Let me know, because I do want to start reaching out to stores, sending them some of my mini patterns and seeing what they think. So it's time to kind of jump back into that. If you've been following me pretty closely, you know how back and forth I've been on this. And let's just say that there's a lot that goes on up here and in here that I've had to work through over the last year, 2 years, my whole life, this is where I need to go. I big digital store, but I also want to be in physical stores as well. I do. Do I want to go to Nashville market? Probably not. I don't think that the investment, how much I would pay to go there would actually turn around and be like a good thing for me. At least not right now, I don't. I would rather talk to stores individually, see what their needs are, provide them with patterns that their customers want to stitch and that they're happy with. So, yeah. Anyway, all right. Is it almost time for football? I gotta stop doing this. Hubs is gonna be home soon. He went to go check on the bees. Do we have any honey? I would say no. I would say absolutely not. We probably don't have any honey. But it's something that he has to go check anyway. Because if we're not going to take honey, it's time to take the supers off of the honey boxes, take them off, condense it down, because we're going to start to get some colder weather. Today, the high is only like 69, 68, which is awesome. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. And yeah, so anyway. But I'll probably have more info about the bees for you guys on Thursday. Because I'm going to do a video on Thursday. I'll probably do it Wednesday night. Okay, now my battery's dying, so that's a big... I got to stop. But yeah, Thursday. If we put it out on Thursday, I'm going to have to shoot it on Wednesday. I can do it. I can do it. Just won't be terribly long. It doesn't need to be this week because I've talked so much here. All right, let me stop rambling. Y'all have a great day. Happy stitching. Let me know what you think. Subscribe. If you're still here and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That would be awesome. That really helps me out. And I hardly ever ask. And so, really, I think I probably could count on one hand the number of times I've asked over the last like 7 years. So I should probably ask more often. Anyway, all right, guys. Go Bears! Let's go Bears. All right. Take care, guys.